If you follow my recipes and my videos, you know that the breed of choice for our family has been boxers for many years. We lost our last boxer a couple of years ago. It was a very hard loss, and it took us some time. We actually got a lab and a beagle mix in between, but now we're back in the mix with another boxer puppy. So in lieu of our new addition, I thought that I might share a homemade dog food recipe for boxers that I've used with our pets in the past. Boxers can be a really tricky breed to feed. They have very sensitive digestive tracts, and they're prone to allergies as well as a number of health conditions. They're also a very high energy breed with a fast metabolism, so it's really a trick between finding the appropriate amount of calories to maintain that energy level, but not go overboard where they're gaining unnecessary weight. And also, of course, you have to be sensitive to those allergies and food sensitivities, digestive tract sensitivities. So it's best to stick with a limited ingredient dog food. Homemade is a great option because it allows you to pick and choose what ingredients you use and kind of cater your food to your dog's needs. Again, as I mentioned, boxers have a lot of health issues that run in their bloodlines. So whether your dog is prone to heart problems, dental health problems, certain forms of cancer, a homemade recipe can be exactly what they need to get them eating and keep them eating a nutritious diet if there's something else going on. So with all of that being said, I do not recommend switching your boxer to a homemade diet just cold turkey all by yourself. You really need some guidance because the breed does have such specific nutritional needs. It's best to consult your veterinarian or canine nutritionist before making the switch. This recipe is a great place to start, and if you'd like to take it in to help start that conversation with the expert that you choose, show them this recipe and see what they think. They're going to evaluate your dog based on a number of things. Breed is only one of them. Age, weight, activity level, daily routine, overall health condition, of course, the stage of life that they're in. All those things are going to affect their nutritional needs, and the expert that you work with will be able to evaluate your dog, check out this recipe. They may make some recommendations on some supplements or multivitamin or a couple of extra ingredients that you might want to add. If your dog, this one is made with beef tips, so let's say your dog had a beef allergy, you could always switch to chicken, fish, venison, bison, another protein source if your dog has some digestive issues with beef. So all things to keep in mind, but certainly check with your veterinarian or a canine nutritionist first. This homemade dog food for boxers is really easy to prepare and put together. It's one of my favorite things about the recipe, actually. The first thing you're going to want to do is cook a pound of beef tips in a frying pan, or you can boil them however you want. So I have mine here, and I don't use any oil or anything like that. I just cook the beef tips plain. I'm going to add to these a quarter of a cup of skinless tomatoes, a quarter of a cup of canned pumpkin. Pumpkin is really great for the digestive tract, so if your boxer has some GI issues, that is an excellent ingredient to add. I also have a quarter of a cup of spinach. Now, I cheated and used canned spinach. If you would like to cook some fresh spinach, you can certainly do that. A quarter of a cup of spinach. Spinach is actually a superfood for dogs, so it's an ideal ingredient for this recipe. And then a quarter of a cup of plain yogurt. Make sure that you get plain yogurt, not vanilla. Vanilla flavored yogurt or any flavored yogurt has added sugar and artificial ingredients that your dog doesn't need. So plain yogurt is also another great ingredient. It's full of probiotics, natural probiotics, so it's great for the digestive tract. And finally, just a tablespoon of coconut oil. I melted mine in the microwave before I added it in here. And then you're just going to toss this around. That's it. Once the beef tips and the spinach, if you cook your spinach, have cooled, you can feed it to your dog. It certainly doesn't look very appetizing, as you can tell, but our dogs love this. I'm sure yours will as well. Make sure you get that spinach really mixed around. Sometimes if they get a clump of spinach, they won't eat it. But as long as it's mixed thoroughly, they should love it. My dogs do. I recommend feeding about a half a cup for every 20 to 25 pounds of body weight, and that depends on your boxer. More active dogs will need more calories, while if your boxer's not quite as active and is older, he may not need as many. So a quarter of a cup for every 20 to 25 pounds of body weight, and that's per serving. You want to feed 2 servings per day, so it would be a quarter of a cup, a half a cup if your dog weighed, say, 25 pounds, a half a cup in the morning, and then a half a cup in the evening. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. Thanks for watching this recipe guide.